All righty, so today we have Marcy from Tesh that's going to be speaking here in a bit with Mark Tucker as well. But as usual, we want to start off with just a roundtable of introducing yourself, your agency. And today I've got a would you rather question for you to answer. So that question is, would you rather give up air conditioning and heating for the rest of your life, or give up the internet for the rest of your life? So let's start with Karen and Keeler.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would give up internet. No problem, hands down. I'd be happy to live on a remote island somewhere and just be fine.
And I'm Keeler. I would do the same thing.
And your agency?
Oh, we're from Department of Labor. I'm sorry. So
you're fine.
just so everybody knows, since we're on introduction, as you all know, I've been the person that's been doing Alice for, almost 2 years now. Keeler is a little bit newer from the department. You've been here maybe half a year?
6 months.
Yeah, half a year. Keeler is really excited I'm passing the torch to her. She is going to be our official representative within the Alice meetings from this point forward. So everybody welcome Keeler. She's awesome.
Awesome. Welcome, Keeler.
Welcome, Keeler.
Okay, next up, Louisa.
Hi, I'm Louisa. I'm with Center for New Directions at North Idaho College, and I would definitely give up internet to keep air conditioning and heat. Yes.
Okay. Wendy. Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh, well, I'm apparently backwards. I can't figure out mute and unmute this one.
You're not
I'm
alone.
from Real Life Ministries Community Assistance, and I would definitely give up the internet over heating and air conditioning.
Okay, maybe I picked too easy of a question here.
If it
Michaela.
wasn't 100 degrees, it probably wouldn't be an easy question.
Yeah.
I would say as long as I could still make a living, I would give up the internet.
Okay. And your agency?
I am with Mountain States Early Head Start.
Awesome. Donna.
Hi, Donna Brundage from St. Vincent's and NAMI and a bunch of other places. Boy, that would be a tough call for me, but I think I'd have to give up the internet.
Okay.
Is there life without the internet?
I've heard that's the rumor. Carrie.
Good morning. I'm Carrie Wilfong, and I'm the bookkeeper at United Way of North Idaho. I too would give up the internet
Okay.
for sure.
All right, hands down, it's internet. Arwen.
Hi, my name is Arwen. I'm from Advanced Benefits, and I would not give up the internet. I would give up heating and AC and just move to San Diego.
Not surprised, Arwen goes rogue. Okay, Sherry.
Hi, I'm Sherry from Disability Action Center in Post Falls, and actually this is my first meeting, and so I'm kind of excited about being a part of this. Thank you, Donna. And I too would probably give AC and heating and go to Southern California.
All right, Arwen, you better rent a bus because you're going to have a few people coming with you.
Yep.
Amy.
Yes, I'm Amy with the Community Library Network. Also my first meeting, so happy to be here. Yeah, I was gonna say give up internet, but yeah, if I had the choice to move, then probably I would give up AC. But I have AC for the first time in 15 years right now, so I'm hesitant to give it up. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Welcome. Evelyn.
Okay, that's an easy one. Just give up the internet. I lived half my life without it. I can live the rest of my life without it.
Awesome.
As long as I can still work.
And Evelyn, your agency?
Idaho Housing and Finance Association. I'm their family self-sufficiency specialist.
Awesome. Greta.
Internet. Definitely.
Internet, hands down. And
Yep.
Greta's from 2030. Welcome.
Thank you, Chris.
Josh.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I work over here at Kootenai Recovery Community Center, and that is a tough question. I don't see how I could, I don't know, just internet is something that I use all day, every day for work, everything. It is nice to have the AC, but I think I would give up AC over internet.
Okay. Shane.
I'm Shane with Idaho Youth Ranch. I'm a case manager, targeted care coordinator, and I would definitely give up heating or internet. I'd give up the internet.
Awesome. Thanks, Shane. Steven.
This is, I guess, go with what everyone else is doing. I'd give up the internet easily, and I kind of wish I could if it wasn't for work.
Yeah.
And I'm with Equus Workforce Solutions, and the business services consultant.
Awesome. Thanks, Steven. Mr. Tucker.
Mark Tucker with United Way of North Idaho, and I was leaning towards internet, but I think I'm going to go with giving up the AC and heat. I think I would acclimate.
Awesome. And then Marcy.
Yeah, I think I would give up AC and heat. I going along the lines of what we're talking about today, I don't think I would have the information to do my job
Sure.
well enough without the internet, nor would I be able to communicate with my kids. So I would give up heat and air and move somewhere like San Diego, like others.
Awesome. And Marcy's from Tesh.
Yes,
did I
sorry,
miss?
from Tesh. Yes.
Did I miss anybody?
I think you missed Shelby.
Morning,
Shelby.
this is Shelby Walsh with the United Way of North Idaho. I would definitely give up the internet to keep AC.
Said someone who's expecting any day now.
Oh yeah. Please. No brainer. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody, and it's awesome to see some new faces here. So typically we do our featured presentation, which Marcy and Mark are going to do today, kind of tag team that. And then after that, we'll open it up for some questions for Marcy and Mark. And then we do a virtual roundtable where each of you will have an opportunity to share resources, updates from your agencies, maybe challenges that you're facing, or wins that you've had over the past month. And one of my favorite things of this group is when we get into the challenges part of the conversation, a lot of you are well connected and have resources that others maybe aren't aware of. And so we see a lot of immediate impact of, hey, let's connect after this. And I have some ideas or thoughts on how to approach this. So don't be bashful when you're bringing your challenges, and as well as, we love to hear wins. It's the stuff that all of you do is very heavy. So celebrating the wins is important as well. So we love to hear those. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Marcy and Mark and let you guys take it for the featured presentation.
Perfect. All right, so I'm sharing my screen. Let me hide this. So I reached out to Marcy earlier this week. So this is kind of a last minute for her. So we're gonna kind of wing this a little bit. Marcy, did you want to start off with anything, or do you want me to just share a little bit about the site?
Yeah, sure. I can start off. So yeah, I will be honest with you. Mark reached out to me this week. I had a big event last week, so if he would have reached out to me, I probably would have followed up anyway. But I was I think this was a great opportunity for, it was for me because it introduced me to some new information that I had not actually seen yet, which, back to the first question, the opener question, helps me do my job. And so for me, it was really important and good timing that Mark reached out. So Tesh, I'll share a little bit about who we are if you don't know what we do and who we are, and then how that relates to the data that that Mark is going to kind of talk more about. So TESH is an organization that's been here for 40 plus years in Coeur d'Alene. We serve people with intellectual and physical disabilities, intellectual being the key, and that's broken down into cognitive and other mental disabilities. We serve about 370 individuals, adults per year, and about 30 to 40 children per year in different programs. So we do a youth employment camp of sorts for kiddos, most of them receiving their first time job in the workforce. We also have 50 plus individuals that are adults that receive work benefit or employment services and training from us here at TESH. So we serve all in all about 40 individuals per year. We're a fee for service agency, which means we work with Idaho Division of Voc Rehab and Department of Health and Services, and all of our clients are on Social Security or Medicaid. So 100% of our adults, and Mark will talk more about the ALICE population and the site and what that does, but 100% of the adults that we serve are below, are in the low income households below the ALICE threshold. So 100% of our clients are within what the work that United Way does and ALICE does. 80% of our youth clients are within that, below that ALICE threshold. So it's my world and everything we do here. And also, I'll just kind of preface with that too, probably about 80% of my staff are within that low income because of the pay rates that we receive from the state to supplement their pay as well. So when I say this is my world, this is the people that I work for and with on a daily basis fall in oftentimes this ALICE threshold category. So that kind of gives you a context of who we're serving in this community. So when you talk about data along the lines of people with disabilities, oftentimes in the past, or when you look at data sources, they're just grouped by disability. So that could be a physical disability, which doesn't relate to the work that I do here at TESH. I have a physical disability, but I don't receive Medicaid services. But if I report that, then I'm grouped into this category of a disability. So when I'm looking for data, and this timing is perfect for Mark because it's grant season again for me. And when I'm trying to look at gathering data for grants, I don't need necessarily data that is, everyone with a physical disability. I focus on people that have an intellectual and cognitive disability, along with other disabilities that may come with that as well. So the ALICE data that Mark's going to talk about, the report, is really important to me because I can sort of differentiate between individuals that need self-care, individuals that are independent living difficulties, and have cognitive difficulties. So that is the data that I'm looking for, particularly that traditionally we don't get in other reporting. It's just all grouped. X amount of people in the state of Idaho have a disability. That doesn't necessarily serve me as an organization at TESH. So back to the first question, the internet and reports like this are huge for me because it gives me the information I need to better serve the clients that I work with. I could talk forever. So I thought maybe, Mark, right now you could go and talk about the research, show them the video, and then I could follow it up with some more information about TESH and how that relates to the research and the dashboard, and then kind of follow that up. Does that make sense?
Perfect. That sounds great. Great segue, and thanks for pointing me in the right direction so I know what to do. So the as most of you know, there's a couple of new people. So just briefly, in 2016, we worked with United Ways across the region to bring the ALICE report to Idaho. And it's been really helpful. Since that report was released, we started this ALICE task force. So this has been going on for several years. The way that project works is they use census data, and there's a national research team and then a local research team by state. And the local research team looks at local costs of living, and the national research team has the formulas and the mechanisms and the tools to put it together. But they determine what goes into it and what's missing from federal poverty level and other financial well-being indicators. And so the report gets renewed every other year. And so we have continued to renew the reports. With the challenges of the 2020 census and it being delayed, there was a report that was supposed to be due or scheduled to be due earlier this year, and they weren't able to do that. So what they did instead is create 3 reports. This is the second one that's come out that they're releasing this year, called ALICE in Focus. So that's where they do a deep dive on a specific population, just to talk about how the current economic situation and the pandemic have impacted their lives. So the first ALICE in Focus was on children, and that came out in the spring. And then this ALICE in Focus on disabilities was just released about a week or 2 ago. And then the next one will be on veterans, which will be released on Veterans Day. So the ALICE in Focus website, as you see here, really just kind of talks about why this is impactful. And instead of me going through the site, I'm going to share that video that Marcy mentioned, and it is an overview basically of the website. I'll also put a link to this in the chat, and it'll be in the notes that Chris sends out afterwards. So let me switch to this tab and play this, and hopefully, technology willing, you guys can hear it as well.
Hello, my name is Dr. Ashley.
You hear that?
I'm the Director of Research and Strategic Analysis, United for ALICE. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a brief tour of our website on ALICE in Focus and people with disabilities. This research shows that of the 40 million people with disabilities in the US, over half are living in households that are struggling financially. That includes those living in households with income below the federal poverty level and those that are ALICE, asset limited, income constrained employed, with income above the federal poverty level, but below what it costs to afford the basics in the communities where they live. The website and research briefs for this research release put the ALICE data in your hands. So let's jump in. On our ALICE in Focus People with Disabilities webpage, you can find some of our key downloads, including the National Research Brief, state research briefs and sponsors, a state comparison of key indicators, and our data dictionary, which shows all of the variables that are included in this research release. Scrolling down, you can find the ALICE Disability Data Dashboard, which shows a number and percentage of people with disabilities in 2019 who lived in households below the federal poverty level, in ALICE households, or in households above the ALICE threshold. People with disabilities below the ALICE threshold include both those in poverty and in ALICE households combined. With the first dashboard tool, you can explore the data on people with disabilities by category, including age, race, ethnicity, education, housing, technology, public assistance, and more. This data is available for the US and for our United for ALICE partner states. With your geography selected, you can use the buttons on the right to toggle between the different categories. With the category selected, you can see several different variables. For example, here by age. These bars show the percentage of people with disabilities in this group who are below the poverty level, who are ALICE, or who are above the ALICE threshold. To the right of this, you can also see the percentage of people with disabilities below the ALICE threshold compared to the percentage of people without disabilities below the ALICE threshold for this particular variable. Below each of the charts, you can also see the numbers that are behind this data so that you can do your own calculations and see the raw numbers. So for example, here you can switch between groups and look at the different variables as they appear. So for example, by race ethnicity, you can see disparities across the different groups. For example, 67% of Black people with disabilities are below the ALICE threshold, compared to 45% of white people with disabilities below the ALICE threshold. But you can also see disparities within the groups by disability status. So for example, 67% of Black people with disabilities are below the ALICE threshold, compared to 52% of Black people without disabilities below the ALICE threshold. As you click on the different categories, the variables will appear below. For example, by labor status, technology, and public assistance. In the second dashboard tool, you can cross-tabulate or combine these different variables. Again, this data is available for the US or for United for ALICE partner states. Crossing this data allows you to see different groups by different combinations. So for example, you could select seniors who are Hispanic and have an independent living difficulty. And you can see the percentage of people in this group who are living in households below the federal poverty level and ALICE households or above the ALICE threshold. You can also look at the definitions of disability and some technical details in the drop downs below. To see data below the state level, you can use our local maps. This tab shows a map with an interactive map that shows the percentage of people with disabilities below the ALICE thresholds in ALICE partner states by public use microdata areas. These are US Census Bureau geographies made up of groupings of about 100,000 people. On the first map, you can see how the percentage of people with disabilities below the ALICE threshold varies by state, ranging from 39% to 65%. But for ALICE partner states, you can dig a little deeper. With a state selected, you can hover over the different PUMAs, or these public use microdata areas, to see the percentage of people with disabilities below the ALICE threshold for your selected variables. You can change the categories just like you could on the first dashboard tool by selecting a different grouping. So for example, let's look at disability type. With disability type selected, you can select a specific disability type, including cognitive disability. So let's select that one. With both category and subcategory collected, the map will populate with new data to show the percentages of people with disabilities below the ALICE threshold for that selected group. Just like in the other tool, you can scroll down and you can see the raw numbers below the maps for each of these particular geographies. You can also use the website to find the state research briefs, the committees that help make this work possible, and some key resources that help put this data into context with some other great resources that are available from our partners and from other researchers across the country. Here you can scroll down and look at the different groups and collect and select additional resources. Thank you for watching. We hope that this data will increase your understanding about financial hardship among people with disabilities, and most importantly, help you take action to improve the lives of ALICE in your community and across the country. Thanks again from the United for ALICE team.
All right. So that was a good overview of a lot of the data and how to navigate. So there's a couple of pages that I highlighted for Idaho specifically. So the link that I put in the chat is basically the start page. And if you scroll down the state briefs and sponsors page, so this, I selected Idaho. So this shows the sponsors that have helped make this possible on a local and regional level. And then this brief is just a few pages, and it's a good kind of overview. And if you're anything like me, you like to have a print hard copy to take along with you. A little bit wasteful of paper, but it's something that I feel it's a good way to connect and refer back to and mark up on my own. So that link is in there. This is a link to the dashboard, as she was showing, and I selected Idaho here. since we work in early learning, this one really stood out to me that 79% of children 0 to 4 are ALICE, in addition to 8%. So 87% of people with disabilities under 4 are struggling. That one was huge to me. Obviously, it kind of sticks out anyway. And then another one is the local maps. So this is where you can take a look at the specific map. So let me select Idaho. And it shows 45%, and then there are the numbers of people with disabilities. So I don't know if we necessarily need to dive into all this. I think now that each of you have the link, if there's something specific, there's a lot of different categories and subcategories we can look at. But my goal was to make sure that you're all aware of it and be able to use the resources if you need it. So again, a few links. If you want to download spreadsheets, it's all right there. And the national brief. But again, on that first link has the state brief that I think is be a good overview for all of us. All right, Marcy, I will let you take it back over unless there's anything else you wanted me to point out on.
Well, so just like what Mark talked about, this is my state brief and these are my markups and my
Nice.
highlights and everything. So even though the internet is great, this was good just to really put it into context. So whatever data you're looking at, I think those state research briefs, you know, can come in handy, whatever you're doing and whatever information that you're looking at. For me in particular, like I said, what this report does is really break apart the age groups with the type of disability that oftentimes we don't see in some of the research that we get. And so it makes a difference. Something that I did want to point out, it was not in this brief, but when you're talking about a person with a disability, on average, it's about a $17,000 additional need in services for a person with disabilities a year. So when you're looking at individuals that are making $8 an hour and they have a disability, it's going to cost them in a year an additional $17,000 to just make ends meet because of their disability. So it puts it in perspective as to why a lot of individuals, 45% of individuals in the state of Idaho are living in poverty. The resources just are not there for them. Some information that I was going to just point out too, it's not in this brief, but the average benefit that the people that I work with receive through Medicaid or social services is about $800 per month. And we know $800 per month in Coeur d'Alene will not get you an apartment anywhere. I think in Southern Idaho is the same way. So when I look at the people I serve and even my staff, I pulled a report this morning. My average pay for my staff is $11 an hour. That's what I am reimbursed from the state for them to serve individuals who are making less than minimum wage an hour and trying to live in our community. And so I think it's really important. This data for grants, for me to supplant what I need to exist as an organization is huge. And like I told Mark yesterday, I'll be using this data in writing my United Way grants in the next couple of weeks to apply for more money to support the people that I serve. So it's really important. And thank you for, if you have any questions, I don't mind. I could go on forever about the data that's in the brief, but I don't think that's the purpose of what we're doing here. So you can gather lots of information.
Questions for Marcy or Mark?
Hey, we got off easy, Marcy.
Again, thanks, Marcy, for joining us. Just feel free to hang out with us as we do our virtual roundtable. But again, appreciate you being part of the call. Appreciate everything you do at TESH. It's an awesome organization. So thank you very much for.
I
for
did just want to,
jumping in.
I did just want to point out, if you look at the briefs or the resources that are there, you know, there's a few things that I ask everyone to do, and that's probably why you're part of this group as well, is this advocate and be an ally for people that are in this ALICE category, whether they have disabilities or not. And I think, you know, right as I was getting on this meeting, I got an email from our state association asking if I knew of any of the representatives that serve North Idaho, because we have big work to do here to support not only people with disabilities, but people that are within the ALICE category. And I think it's important for all of you, whether or not you work with people with disabilities or not, to take a step back and think about how can I be an ally and how can I be a resource and advocate for individuals, especially as housing costs rise and resources are more and more limited.
Awesome.
Arwen, you have a question?
Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering what organizations or what kind of lobbying groups that TESH is involved with to, you know, put the bug in our state legislators' ears to get more resources coming this way.
Yeah, we do have a state association. They're called Access Idaho. And there's other organizations as well, but there are 11 organizations like mine throughout the state of Idaho where we are fully supported by Voc Rehab or IDVR and IDHW for resources to support our clients. And so we work particularly with the state association to work with our representatives for support, advocation. It's limited, to be honest, and very disjointed because a lot of times it's grouped as a disability. We have to really seek out the advocates in certain pots that help the individuals for us. And so it's a very disjointed process. It's not just one blanket, you know, let's support people with disabilities. That's huge. And I think that's where our state struggles with, is defining, you know, those pockets of resources or those advocates. And so, you know, that's a hard one, to be honest. Yeah.
Any other questions for Marcy? Awesome. Well, again, appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want to hang around as we do our virtual roundtable. Again, TESH, awesome organization, and thank you for the work you do, Marcy. It's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, who would like to kick it off?
This is Chrissy from Navigation.
Hi, Chrissy.
Hi, and I apologize for no video, but unfortunately, if I have video on, then everything freezes up on me. So I'm with a still picture. But I just wanted to share that we are going to be kicking off our Kinship Day on September 10th, and it will be at the Lake City Center from 10 to 11. And so what we are doing is honoring families that are raising relative or kinship children. So if you know anybody in that boat, if you could share with them and let them know, we'd really love to have them come so we can honor them and let them know how much we appreciate them, and emphasize with them the positive impact that they're having on the community, as well as those children. I have some flyers that I can send to you, Chris, if you wouldn't mind sharing with the group. That would be awesome.
Can do. Send my way.
All right. Thanks so
Chrissy.
much.
Who's next?
Wendy with Real Life Ministries Community Assistance. For those who are new, we have a food bank, a soup kitchen, we do some financial assistance, and we help people looking for jobs. I updated the list for the food banks and meal sites, and so I will send that to Chris and get that out to everybody.
Thanks, Wendy. Appreciate it.
Hi, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi. You go.
Okay, I'll go. All right, I've got a few things. I wanted to let everybody know that Panhandle Health and the opioid task force are having a screening of the movie, the Call Me movie, today at Lake City Church. And then they're also having an opioid symposium all day tomorrow, virtual, and they will be showing the movie there again. You have to register online through Panhandle Health if you'd like to attend that. I want to let everybody know that Span Walk will be September 10th. And that's, breaking the silence to raise awareness for suicide prevention. And that link is also on the Panhandle Health website under suicide prevention, and you need to register. It is free to participate in the walk. It's $25 if you'd like to table. If you'd like a long sleeve t-shirt, it's $30, but otherwise it's just a free event. And there'll be speakers, and Jill Ainsworth, this is her baby, and she's been doing some really, really cool things. So there's going to be a lot of different things to participate in there. I wanted to let everybody know that I've joined the board of Project Home Share, which is an offshoot of the Regional Housing and Growth Partnership. And we formed a new nonprofit. We're looking for funding right now. We got a little bit of money for seed money for a startup. We're applying for an ARPA grant, but this is a really cool program. It's almost like a roommate matching service. And it's where people enter their data and what their desires are into a database. And then there's sharing of that information and trying to match people like service workers or college students or even single families, things like that, with people like snowbirds or people that are retired or people that just have too many bedrooms in the house they just bought and they're willing to rent at a reasonable cost. Kiki Miller, it's Kiki Miller's baby, and she's a board member now, but Pam Hauser is actually going to be the president of that board. So if anybody would like more information about that, Chris, I'll send you the links to that. We are looking for board members, and Kiki or somebody on the group would be also very happy to do a presentation if you're interested in having them come talk about this program more in depth, because it's a pretty cool thing. And there's background checks and there's things like that to, ensure safety. It's a national program. It's in 49 states, soon to be 50, because Idaho's, getting on board at the last minute. And it's been going for 40 years. So it's not a new, like, oh, this is a great idea, let's try this. This is actually a program that started in Vermont and went national after that. So there's a national association. Other than that, November is nonprofit month for the chamber. So please keep that in mind. We'll be having a panel again, and Mark, I wanted to talk to you about that, about maybe being our MC, but we can discuss that privately if you're in. And other than that, I want to thank anybody that's on this call. Sherry, Greta, that participated in our July housing event at City Park, and that was pretty successful for a first-time event. We're competing with Post Falls Days and the Beer Fest that was going on in McEwen right across the lawn there. And we're probably going to make that an annual thing. So that's all I got for now.
Awesome. Thanks, Donna. All right, Karen or Keeler, you're up.
Hello, we are having our job fair next week on Wednesday between 11 and 1. We already have 32 employers and a waiting list. It has been successful in the last few months. We're having people hired. One company hired 4 people in one day. So that was exciting. The employers are willing to be here and talk with anyone because they've opened up who they're hiring. So it's kind of exciting. So hopefully we can get some more people or send people in.
Awesome.
That's it.
Excellent. Thank you. Who's next?
This is Stephen with Equus Workforce Solutions. Just wanted to kind of give a story of a success, and maybe it can kind of relate to a lot of other organizations. We've been working with UGM, and we have 3 participants that enrolled in the WIOA program. We administer the adult and dislocated workers. And we have them in internships, and it looks like 2 of the 3 so far are going to get job offers, and we're going to help them out with on-the-job training for the companies that are going to be their employers. So if any of you have individuals that need assistance in finding work and that would qualify under the adult or dislocated worker programs, we'd love to hear from you and send them our way, and we can help them get set up with companies.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you for sharing. Love the wins.
Good morning. This is Shelby Walsh with United Way of North Idaho. I have a couple of things to share with the group. First of all, our scholarship program is still going strong. We have a ton of applications for this month, which is wonderful. Last month was a little slow, but we've recently raised our income parameters or income limits, I guess, for applicants to better reflect the ALICE population to date in the 5 northern counties. And we also have lifted our limit on how much we can support these families. So if you know anyone who is in need of childcare assistance, please send them our way and have them check out our scholarship program. We are also looking for an intern to kind of help carry on some of the work while I'm on maternity leave. So if you know anyone that's interested in this work, it's a part-time position, August through December, $24 an hour internship here at the United Way. And the last thing I want to share is that we are partnering with Louisa, and we're putting on a wonderful family engagement event and ribbon cutting event, or grand opening event. We don't have a giant ribbon, but grand opening event of our Born Learning Trail in City Park on August 20th. There's going to be giveaways and fun activities for families. If you know anyone that's interested, or you yourself are interested in coming out, City Park, 10 a.m. on August 20th to celebrate our Born Learning Trail that we put out there last June, or this past June, as well as connect some families to resources.
The city will lend you a ribbon and scissors, just FYI. You have to reserve them.
Alas, they typically don't trust me with scissors, but maybe Shelby they would. I used to have the round tipped ones with the green handles because I was left-handed in elementary school. I did want to add one thing. So Marcy mentioned the percentage of her staff that was ALICE. I wanted to encourage all of you to share with your employees that ALICE Child Care scholarships as well. And right now we're doing a push for employers to not only share the scholarship opportunity, but a survey of your employees where you can help us understand the need, but also help you understand the need of your workforce. So there is a section in our workforce childcare benefits page on our website that I'll put that in the chat. And it's a great opportunity. Like Shelby said, we have funds available. We've increased the limit amounts. And there is a little bit of urgency. We need to spend those funds by the end of September, and we know the needs out there. So we just really want to get this opportunity pushed out through local employers and employees in our community.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mark. Can I chat for a second?
Absolutely. You have the mic.
Thanks, Chris. So for those of you that don't know me, I want to introduce myself again. I think some people joined a little bit later, but anyway, my name is Greta Gissel, and I just joined CDA 2030. And for those of you that aren't familiar with CDA 2030, it's an organization that started back in 2014 to support our community and the voice of the community and what the community wanted as we moved forward to 2030. We'll eventually rebrand because it's not CDA, it is the entire Northwest and its surrounding communities. So, but in any event, your causes are why we exist, to be able to support, facilitate, advocate, and help move forward the vision that everyone wants for Coeur d'Alene for housing and economy and equality and all of those things. So I put my information in the chat. And so if you'd like to reach out to me, I would be happy to meet with you and hear what you're working on and how I can help you further your cause. So that's it. Thanks. Thanks for inviting me to the group.
Thanks, Greta.
Thanks, Greta.
Other updates, struggles, challenges, wins, home runs?
Hi, hi. This is Chelsea from the city of Coeur d'Alene, and I manage the CDBG, the Community Development Block Grant. So I just wanted to announce that we just opened it up for applications. So that information is on our website, but I'll also send it to you if you would like to share it out to anybody who didn't get an email. And then the other thing that we have that just opened is our emergency minor home repair program. So that helps people, you know, if they have a roofing project or need an air conditioner replaced or a hot water heater, things like that, or ADA accessibility upgrades in their home, like bathroom remodels and such. So that just opened as well, and there's limited funds there and they go pretty fast. So if anybody knows of anybody, I can send the application link and you could share that as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's awesome, Chelsea. Either put it in the chat or you can send it my way as well, and I can make sure it gets out to this crew.
Okay, yeah, I'll email it to you to send out. And some people probably have already gotten the email or the announcement, but yeah, the deadline on the applications is September 23rd. And then just a heads up, we're going to do a pretty quick turnaround for the 2023 grants and probably do those in late January or February. So it'll be another round of funding available then if somebody doesn't have it together by then, or you know, we have limited funds, so they go pretty fast and it's always more applicants than money. So
thanks, Chelsea.
I did have something to share, kind of a good news, if I can.
Do it.
So we employ we have a summer work program, and we employ anywhere from 30 to 40 youth, ages 16 to 21, in usually their first time job in our community. So we place those, we provide a job coach, we support them, we meet with them, we meet with the employer, and it's a 6-week program. We had 40 individuals this summer. 30 graduated through the program, so there's always some drop off here and there for whatever reason. The success of that this year was 6 students will be placed permanently in their jobs. So that's a huge win for kiddos with disabilities in our community and employers who are looking for really great workers that take a massive amount of pride in what they do. So we were pretty happy with those results. So
great share.
And thanks to United Way for helping to fund that.
Excellent. Josh?
Hi, my name is Josh and I'm here at the Recovery Center, and I just have a quick little announcement. So we have a recovery rally coming up here pretty soon. It is going to be on the 10th of September, and it's going to be at the Human Rights Education Institute right there on the park, like Northwest Boulevard and Sherman area, right there close to the park, like I said. You know, it's going to be during National Recovery Month, and we're celebrating that recovery is possible, treatment does work. And so we would love anybody's involvement, I've sent out a lot of sponsorship packets to a lot of our community partners. Some of you guys may have got them, some of you guys may have not. I don't have everyone's email here. But if anybody's interested in being a part of it, we would love any of the community's involvement. And in the chat, I can put our phone number or some email addresses to contact us. And we would love some help. Thanks.
Very cool. Thanks, Josh. Other updates?
I'll go ahead and share a win.
Thanks, Michaela.
So I'm Michaela. I work for Mountain States Early Head Start. And for those of you that don't know, we work with families from pregnancy through age 3 of their child. And we just are a general support system for them. And we help provide educational resources and we help them identify family goals and achieve those goals in all areas of their life. And we have been pretty significantly under enrolled for a long time, and we still are, but last month we were able to enroll 12 new families, which is huge because in June we were only able to enroll 2 families. And so it's been really exciting to get to reach some of those individuals because they are out there and they're not finding us, or we're having some struggles. I think a big part of that is the poverty guidelines, because we are governed by those and some other eligibility categories. And so it was just really nice to get to reach out to some families and have them participate in some of our services. And it's been really successful seeing them get together in groups with their kids and playing and whatnot. So I'm just excited about that.
Awesome. Thanks for the share. Who else?
I'll just share a couple general updates. So I'm Amy again with the Community Library Network and really excited to be part of this group. Just one thing we did this summer is we did a strategic planning process, but I think for the first time we really did in several years, we did some really broad community input. So we did a variety of stakeholder sessions and community surveys. So that was really exciting for us and we're hoping our board will adopt it next week. But out of that, we hope to really just kind of be more strategic, using that word again, in some of our partnerships and initiatives. And so that may involve us working with many of you that have already, I know, been partners, but may help expand that. But that's been really exciting. And then I think like many organizations, we received a grant from Project Neighborly, the Idaho Community Foundation. So we're doing some really fun neighborly events kicking off this month. So in Post Falls on August 20th, in Harrison on August 27th, and then in September and October at many of our other libraries. And then also really excited, thanks to United Way, we're able to launch some of our, or continue to expand some of our youth services initiatives, our Launch into Learning, which really focuses on caregivers, resources for them in early literacy, and doing some more sensory programming and hygiene hampers. So just kind of some fun stuff going on and challenges. I don't know if anybody's talked about that yet, but we have some challenges, but I think we're really trying to work through just some public perception about the library and what we actually do and what we can offer. So
awesome. Thanks, Amy. Great to have you part of the group. Anybody else?
I have a share. At Advanced Benefits, we're doing a school supplies drive between now and August 17th. So it's almost wrapping up. And we're trying to collect 500 items to go to kids that are from low-income families that have a harder time affording the school supplies that they need. And then in addition to that, for every item that's donated, AB is matching $1 up to $500, and that grant is going to go to the New Vision High School, it's the alternative high school. They have a clothing closet there that they stock to provide coats and warm winter clothing to students in need. So that's what we're working on.
Thanks, Arwen.
I can share also, because Arwen reminded me that maybe this is share worthy. Let me unblur my background so you can see my horribly messy office. But I posted in Charity Tracker a couple weeks ago that I was looking for school supplies for the kids of the parents on my caseload here at NIC. And Children's Village contacted me and said they had some backpacks they could donate. So let me just show you my floor. So if you can see this, but I have 65 backpacks now
Wow.
in my office, and which is amazing. And they're stuffed full of all sorts of goodies. There's just brand new Barbies and blankets and hygiene products and toys and books, and it's just so fun. So at the event that I'm doing on the 20th with the United Way at the park, I'm gonna have these backpacks to give out. So it will be a good time.
That is super cool. Thanks for
I
sharing
think-
that.
Yeah, I just am always blown away by this community and how amazing everyone is. So thank you all for all you do.
Awesome. Very good share. Anybody else? Well, great.
We went to-
Go ahead, Wendy.
we went to refer somebody to the Bank On program and realized it is no longer up and running. Is there an alternative to that?
So
Yeah, we found that most of the financial institutions and some organizations have their own financial literacy training. And so instead of trying to force them to use a similar curriculum, they've kind of adopted the Bank On curriculum for their own use. And so we're trying to do referrals to those organizations. And, you know, right now we've been just starting with those financial institutions that were sponsors of Bank On. So Wells Fargo, Idaho Central Credit Union, STCU, all have good ones. I think there's other ones as well.
Awesome. Okay, we are coming up to the end of the hour here. Jam-packed full of great information, great collaboration. Thank you all for your participation. My ask for each and every one of you is two things, two homework assignments. We're getting ready to send out the latest helps bulletin. So when that comes out, if you can send that to your network so that we can continue to grow and get that out to the Alice population. And my other ask is we want to continue to grow this group. So you all have a circle, a center, you're all a center of influence. So invite somebody to Alice Task Force meeting, say, hey, come check it out. You know, and so those would be my two asks for each of you. And I guess I have one more ask is that all of you have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.